We invite you to listen and grow to this Power Business and Lifestyle magazine show. With hosts Paul and Deb Rees, experts in business, leadership and lifestyle. Skilling yourself to a successful you. Emotions are your value, and your value is your business. UK Health Radio.
Boom! We are in and we're up and running and welcome listeners. Yes, should I stop saying the boom thing? I just love it though, do you know what I mean? Like the booming ourselves in, listeners, really.
That's what I was thinking, actually. I was thinking, I was just had this thought of everybody going on to the, UK Hits Radio and listening to one and then listening to another and it's just boom, 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 boom.
I mean, like, oh, there he goes with his boom again. But I love booming in, listeners, do you know what I mean? It gets me ready for the 52 minutes ahead and, we have a fantastic show again. It's great to be here. Thank you for your dedicated listening every week on UK Health Radio. There is a bunch of amazing presenters. There's a bunch of amazing shows on here on a weekly basis. It is such a fantastic station for you. I love being here. I mean, I love being in life, anyway, but I love being here is where we are. And here we are, listeners. Yes, so welcome. So today, of course, is myself and the wonderful, beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous Deborah the Explorer. They used to call her Deborah the Explorer in school.
No, because luckily, otherwise they would have got it. It wasn't out then, was it?
Was it not?
No. I think she was late 90s or something, and I'd already gone, so yeah.
Well, it is. Nicknames are a funny old thing, innit?
Yeah, but they used to say, Kia-ora, Deborah.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd say, I'll be your dog.
I'll be your dog, baby. I'll be your dog, yeah, for sure. It's funny. I mean, where do nicknames come from? It's like I grew up, of course, in Wales. They had these nicknames for like Die Spark. Was actually his name was David and he was an electrician.
Right.
So they called him Die Spark,
I love it.
And I know Jimmy Chippy was like he was a carpenter,
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff, And,
But what I go on.
And in London, the gangsters had odd names for everybody.
Oh
do you know what I mean?
Jack the Hat. Mickey the Ear Splicer.
Paul the Ball.
I love it, but you know what? And I always envied it. You boys do it. You always call each other by your surnames.
Yeah, truly.
Right? What you got a friend called Dappy? Why do you call him Dappy?
I guess because he would dap it everywhere.
Dap is a Welsh word for running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So he just got called Dappy. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why,
You always call each other by your surnames, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. Girls never did all that.
Did they not?
No, they always call just by your Christian names, but you guys would always be like Jonesy and
Rees. They call me Rees.
Rees, right?
Or some of my friends call me Roadie because of road biking. And then some call me Reese. The majority of my friends call me Roddy, though.
Yeah, they do.
And it's funny, I even pick up the phone and I say, hi, mate, how you doing? It's Paul. They say, all right, Roddy. Even if I say my name.
Yeah.
And I think some have got me in as, one of my mates got me saved in his phone as Mystic Meg.
Yeah.
From my mediumship days.
Yeah.
So Mystic Meg in his contacts.
And for those of you abroad, Mystic Meg was somebody that was in our newspapers, right? And
she did the
stars.
the star signs and stuff, and stuff like that. But I think you're right. There was character, but you and family have names for each other, don't you?
All of it. Yeah, we've all got different names. I love that. I think it's endearing. I think it's it just makes you close. I love it. It's like, but the weird thing is that each of my sisters call me something different.
Yeah.
So Tyra calls me Dimph.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to be called Dimphna. My mum was going to call me Dimphna.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That would have been such a sad name.
I like it, Dimphna. I like it. I never wanted it when I was young, but Dimphna, I love. It's Irish.
Wow.
So she calls me Dimph. My elder sister calls me Debronix, which ends up just Bronix, because it's Deb, just Debronix. It's just for no reason. And Lorna calls me D-Bob.
D-Bob.
Yeah, so, and I call Tyra B. So I could just call her B to her face. She's just B.
B for what, though?
I don't know. It's like Tyra B, so I just call her B. You know? Anita is always Wheat.
Wheat.
Yeah.
Nita
so,
Weetabix.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, our family does do that. I called my mother Mia.
Well, they call me Paul. My family calls me Paul.
I know they do.
It's full on, isn't it?
And you call your sister Pam.
Our stage jumping name. Yeah. But yeah, it is. It's lovely when we do have that. But it's confusing. It's like we've got 2 dogs and you call them different names. Yeah. It's like they have names. The dogs need to be, you know, they need repetitiveness to have obedience. But you call our dog's got about 4 or 5 different names each.
But if you go on to, because we got a Frenchie, and if you go onto the Frenchie, you know, sites and everything, they all do it. They all say this is so and so, aka blah 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 blah.
It's brilliant. I mean, they should. Do you know what? On our birth certificate, there should be spaces left.
Yeah.
For what is you know, names in different eras of your life.
Yeah.
Come on, it should be on your driving license. Birth name Paul Rees, nickname Reesy, second nickname Rhodey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Family name. Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great if we could do that?
I love it because you know our name is our. You know, I know that you say this a lot as well. You know, our name is just a massive statement of who we are.
Yeah, yeah.
So to change it, you know, isn't great, but I think it's just endearing. It
is.
Yeah. It's just sweet, isn't it?
Well, you know, we are changing a lot of things in this day and age for sure, you know, when it comes to, you know, I mean, I've said this before, but I was looking at application forms this week and it's like, man, it's not just are you male and female anymore.
No, right.
It's like, wow, you know, it's crazy stuff. But, you know, where are we this weekend, listeners? So let's just jump in where we've been this week. So it's been a bit of a odd week, you know. You know, we moved. We're up in the middle of nowhere. I didn't realize that how quiet was until you live in quiet.
Yeah, I love it.
How?
And you don't, I know.
Well, you know, let's think about it. I know I don't love being here. You know, I'm very grateful for, you know, we've made this move, listeners. You know this. We made this move and we're in this converted barn, surrounded by nothingness of beautiful nature. So it is all lovely.
And sheep and little horses.
And ducks.
You love the ducks.
I've grown a head torch that's practically glued to my head because there's no street lights or nothing here. But here's my thought is that, you know, what is a quality of life?
That's a really good question.
Because this is something I was thinking about whilst walking our French bulldog in the ice this morning. I mean, it was pitch black, foggy. With my head torch on, I could see by the hand in front of me. Oh. And I'm guessing whether I'm walking on ice or not by how much I'm slipping and stuff. The point my French dog stopped pulling because he was like, I can walk by the side of him because something's going to happen. I know it is. But I was thinking about the quality of life. And it's like, what is it? It's like, we've moved here and you love it because of what? The isolation?
It's not isolation. I wouldn't call it like that. I would call it I love the surroundings. I love going out of the door and seeing rolling hills. I love it. Like, and that's my everyday. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go in a car somewhere to see that. I just look out my windows and I got rolling hills everywhere. I mean, it's not the quiet. I mean, although I do like the quiet a little bit. But I'm not here for the quiet. I'm here for the views. Plus, it's a lovely home.
Yeah.
But it just gives me, it's like, you know, whenever I've gone to a retreat or, you know, Stansted Hall or whatever, I was always walking around those grounds. Because just out in nature, it can make you more spiritual.
I think it's just, I think the realization for me is that a quality of life is a different shape for different people. It's like somebody who lives in the city, you know, that's their quality of life. But then people would say, well, actually, there's no quality of life in the city because it all condensed in. And, you know, I don't know, but I'm just seeing that my realization year today is that a quality of life is different for everybody. And that doesn't mean that one is better than another. Right. It just means that it resonates more with the emotional fingerprint of that person than what it does with someone else. And, some people say that, it's beautiful to live in the country, but some people say, actually, no, it's beautiful to live in the city.
Absolutely, yeah.
And,
I'm not one for having one or the other. I could live in the city, but I'd have to live right in the heart of it. So I just go downstairs and I'm on a high street. That's the city I would. I don't like half and half.
But that goes back to your childhood. And we were living in half and half before we came here,
right,
really.
Yeah. I've always lived in half and half, and do you know what? I don't like half and half.
Wow. That kind of puts us in a bit of a position as a couple, for sure, Deb. You know what I mean?
No, because, I'm quite willing to live, anywhere, really, with you.
Yeah. So it's when you think about it, listeners, you think about, okay, where you are at, where you are living, how much does that resonate with you? I think the important thing is to really look at what's around and look at why you're there.
Well, what's important to you? What is important to you? A lot of people just end up, coming from their mothers and living like 10 miles down the road or whatever, and they find a house and that's a nice one. They're not really looking at what is important.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, these views are extremely important to my well-being.
Oh, okay.
Right. So so many people, especially the spiritual community, are all get out in nature, get out in nature, get out in nature. I can't get out in nature because I have a back disease and won't let me. So this is my get out in nature, you see, apart from riding in a car. But, what's important to you? It could be community is important to you, and therefore go to a small village because you get so much community, or a valley in Wales. You get lots of community there. So I think it's a lot about what's important to you and then go from there, which you found out since we've moved.
Yes. I didn't realise what I had and how important that was to me until we moved.
Yeah.
And now I'm realising how isolated I feel, in this move. That doesn't mean that the move was wrong. It just means that I know the climatized into it is proving to be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
A bit of a thing. And I was talking to a client this week where we were looking at building his business. And, and I said to him, what's the purpose of your business? The business, when you grow business, the idea that business grows your life, not grows your business.
Yeah.
It grows your life. And we went into a big deep dive there, and he talked about, the amount that he was smoking now and all these kinds of things. And he's, he's a single lad. And we turned it around where people, the idea of, running a business and is about building your life, not building the money within your life. I just come off a call with an accountant that's, again, another client of mine. And, an amazing accountant, and she's very successful at what she does. But now it's like, hang about, this isn't enough. Why am I growing my business? What is the purpose of it? I can easily get clients because she is good at getting clients. She's good at filling a business. And her aim was to get to a certain turnover, which she surpassed. And it's like, well, I'm not sure what it is I want to do now because I don't feel I'm actually giving anything back to the emotional economy. I'm just doing accounts. Yeah. And that's the realization is, any form of growth has to have value to you and value to what it is you give out.
Yeah, I mean, I had a client this week that was all about the money and wanted, she had to have this amount or this, and she just realized this week that actually she doesn't want to be that busy to have that amount of money.
Yeah.
She wants smaller amount of money and be less busy and have, like you'd say, like lifestyle business.
Yeah.
People are changing their views.
Yeah, so true. As we're talking about people that we meet, and clients and things, I have a client that's got a 12-month runway. So basically got enough money set aside. So if anything happened, got a 12 months worth of buffer to cover everything. Yeah. But also, let's think about this. Actually, what that client is practicing is fear. Yes. Fear and awful eyes in the future.
Yeah.
Because, effectively, that client has the skills to keep making money, keep growing the business. But the business cannot grow when there's such a buffer in place that is preventing the business owner to have to be forced to excel in thought, be forced to excel in ideas, be forced to double income. You know, a business can only grow when you force a business to grow, because we naturally have an innate part of us that likes to relax, that doesn't want to be stressed, that doesn't want to be pushed into, you know, into practicing or creating new practices that test our intelligence, our emotional values.
Well, that would have come from her childhood. That would have. Money is important and you've got to have it, you know. And of course, everybody's got to have money. But I think what happens is, which is really, really sad, is that the majority of people are looking to, you know, they spend their whole lives looking for money, you know, and at the end of it, why?
Well, you know, I agree, absolutely. You know, there are people that have an abundance saved, but yet live in poverty.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in fear of spending the money they have saved.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's no longer happy money. It's no longer money with any value. That's unhappy money. It's actually poor money. It's, you know, it's possible, listeners, to have millions of pounds of money that is poor money, that adds no value to life, because you're living on the change that you're left with to keep the money put by you in case of what? Money was designed to move. Always remember that. And you can only make money when you move money. You have to let money go for more money to come in. You have to be a flow. Yeah, you have to spend more to make more. It works that way, because your money is all about your mindset and how it is. You know what it feels like. So let's say you've got £500,000 in savings. You know what that feels like. But to get £1 million in savings, you have to then know how to make more than £500,000 to make £1 million.
Yeah.
That's a different emotional money alignment altogether. You can't do that unless you let the money go to put yourself in a position to make it. See, there's lots of these things that you have to look at when you think about money alignment and purpose of money and purpose of business.
Purpose of your life. I mean, in that, when you talk like that, the thing that was running around my mind was, people forget that we're not here forever. They just forget that.
Is that such a statement? People do forget we're not here forever, and it's like as if everybody's piling everything into some kind of universal bank to spend the last 10 years of their life.
Yeah.
I'll keep it. I'll have the pension. I'll have my bonds. I'll invest for when I'm 70 plus.
But some part of me, Paul, would like to just live. And if I end up, you know, with a little fire and a blanket over my knees, you know, when I'm 80, who gives a stuff? I've lived.
Yeah, you've lived. Absolutely.
Right. And I'm, you know, 80, you can still be living. Your mother's 80, she's still living, you know, and I mean just out in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's actually insanity to do all of that, you know, when we're not here forever.
When you think about it, it's like, okay, so let's say I'm living, and then, I don't know, it's like, I lost my train of thought now. Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? We do that. How can we lose train of thoughts?
Because another thought is coming in and behind it, you see, and you want to get to that other
thought. Is that being greedy in thoughts, do you think?
I think so.
That's happened loads. It's like, how do you lose your trail of thought when it's already in play?
Because you...
If something is already in play and about to be said, then you lose it. It's like you can't.
Yeah. It's like you're concentrating on the next bit.
It's like going out and putting my jacket on and saying, as I'm putting my arms through the sleeves of my jacket, I suddenly lose it. How is that possible? I was practically doing the zip up on it. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with. It's funny how we do that. Why does the mind work that way? You know, we suddenly lose conversation or we lose train of thought.
It's all depending where you put your focus. It's where your focus is. So you know, it's almost as if there's a cockiness to it, right? Because you've got like, oh, I know what I'm going to say next. So I'm going to think about what's after that. And then, woof, it all goes, you lose it then.
I'm trying to be...
It's karmic.
So I'm trying to control the conversation by saying too much so nobody else can say anything. And then Karma says, hang about, Rees. There's more than you here.
There is that too. There is that too.
And on our note, listeners, we're going to just jump in and do a quick 60-second commercial. So we're going to see you in, actually, I think it's about, actually, I don't know how long it is. I've not timed it. It could be 60, could be 90, but guess what? It's our first commercial. Happy days, and we'll be back in just a second.
UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good. UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good.
Ooh, and we are back in. Happy days and welcome back, listeners. Of course, you were listening to the wonderful and the brilliant Paul and Debris. Can I say that about us?
I don't know.
Well, I just said it, listeners. Welcome back, of course, to UK Health Radio, where you're ploughing into you all the best conversation you could possibly get during your day. I need to slow down now. I say things also, because apparently, I've been told I talk too fast.
No. I never would have guessed that.
I got to get it out there, man. Do you know what I mean? I like to get in as much as I can in the time I have with people. You know, and
yeah.
But I left a message to my mother on WhatsApp, a voice message, and then she got back and said, she typed back and said, "You talk too quick. I don't know what it is you're saying, but I think it's this," and it was nothing like that. So I had to redo the whole thing and say, "Hi, Mom, it's Paul."
Oh, bless her. Yes, so we were talking about currency and, you know, money and having it move and not being afraid of it. You know, I think a lot of people are afraid of it, afraid to spend it.
I think they're afraid to have it. Some people are afraid to earn it.
Yep.
Some people are afraid to have it. Some people are afraid to let it go.
Yeah. Some
people just despise it. You know, I'd be truthful. I don't like money. If I could find a way to live without money, I certainly would. Yeah. I think money is a spoiler to people's creativity.
Agreed.
I think money is a spoiler to that.
I think that's true. That's a really good statement, actually, Paul. I think that's, you know, yeah, because people can dumb down what they are to go with the norm to get the money. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think we shouldn't be rewarded with money. We should be rewarded with just time in life. So effectively, we could be, okay, we go and do a job and it says, okay, you've worked 5 days. What's your pay? 5 days free time. And within that, then you go to your supermarket, you buy your food. So you get, there's the allocation of food, and there's allocation of things, there's allocation of free time. So like you get paid with life. Mm-hmm. Money doesn't buy us life.
No, it doesn't. But what you've just said there sounds a little bit like, you know, it's a bit communism-y.
Oh, listen, I hadn't finished it off. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, we get paid with money. It doesn't mean we get our life out of that.
No, agreed. Yeah.
Because money, of course, is the control of money in the sense of what it offers in life, isn't consistent.
No, it isn't consistent. But, you know, for a lot of people, it is consistent because they have their job. They stay there for 40 years. They get their pay. It rises every now and again. And they get their holidays and they know exactly where they are.
Do you think a job is safer than a business? Running your own business. I mean, I had a message from my sister this morning. I said, "Hi Jane, you know, how did Leon get on with the solar panel?" She said, got back and she had another promotion. So she's now been promoted again. And, you know, she loves her job. There's a lot of time in there. Do you think that a job is more rewarding than running your own business?
It's all depending. I think it's all depending what you're doing. There's people out there that's running a business, you know, that it's not it's not giving any quality of life to that person. Mm-hmm. And they're running a great big business and they've got, 3,000 people working for them. But I guess they just have so much on their plate. I don't think that they have any free time in their head, let alone anywhere else.
And we can become conditioned to that then, do you think?
I think it's being smart, Paul. You know, the big entrepreneurs of the world, they're smart because what they do is they start something and then they let really good people overtake it and they leave it. and then they're not in it even. That's the smart. If you're going to do a business, for me, that's the smart way to do a business. Where you start it, you spend a couple of years in it, you build it, you get people in, you get it where you totally, it's running like clockwork, and you go out and do something else. That's the smart way to do business. Right?
It is the smart way. You're right. It's a smart way to be in life.
I mean, you think about just for Richard Branson, just for a name, right? He's got trains, planes, and automobiles nearly, right? He's got everything going. He can't oversee all of that.
No.
He's probably not overseeing any of it. He's got boards upon boards, that are running this, and he's just, there.
I think the freedom in life is becoming less of a choice now. It's like over the Christmas period, we had a lot of delivery drivers come in and drop in stuff because we live, say, listeners in the country, and so I'm getting more stuff delivered now than actually going out and purchasing, which means we're adding to obviously pollution and stuff because people are now coming to deliver more to our house than they're actually going out. But that's my mindset. But I was talking to drivers and these delivery drivers, and man, these guys are working round the clock.
Yeah.
I was talking to one, he said occasionally I get a day off and make the most. It's like, wow, you must, you become hardened to the workload that you put yourself under and forget about the reason why, you put the work, and not put the workload down. That's the most important thing to know, is that life comes first. It comes first. Yeah. But then I guess you can depend on what you want out of life. That is that again.
Exactly. Some people love being in their job. They love it. Or being in their business. They just absolutely thrive with it. Everything's individual, but I think that you've got to know your values and you've got to know what it is you actually want. Then make a decision from there. Let's not fall into decisions. We, so many times life happens to us when that's not the way it's meant to be. We're meant to happen to life.
Wow, that's a big one. But say that again. We are meant to happen to life, you said.
Yeah, because we just let life happen to us a lot of the time. We fall into this and we fall into that, and we stay there for years, and and then we're too scared to move from something. I
like that. So true.
Yeah,
we're fearful of the potential of our life.
Yeah, so we stay in the status quo, which isn't happy. I mean, I remember this quote. I never remember who said it, but it said that the majority of men, because it was said in whenever it was, are leading quiet lives of desperation.
Quiet lives of desperation.
The majority.
Wow.
And I believe that to be true because we're so fearful of this, that, and the other. We're so fearful, that we're going to lose the roof over our head, or we're going to lose, we're going to fall behind in our bills, and that becomes our focus. And how sad is that, right? So if you've got a little job and you love it, and it gives you security in where your life is, and you're happy, you're richer than anybody else.
Wow. Here's my thought on that. I believe we're going into an era of nomads.
Yeah.
But professional nomads, executive nomads. I believe that we are now moving into an era where you talk about the roof over our head, and we talk about, worrying about our mortgage, paying our bills. I believe that 10 years from now, there's going to be more nomads. But these are professional people, executives. Now, these are well-to-do individuals that are just basically done with the stretch of our utility bills, which are now exceeding, the stretch of having to pay a mortgage or excessive rent when you can actually buy or even build your own home on wheels. And that's as luxurious. We have a lot of people live in homes that have empty space doing nothing. And forget that's unnecessary. And I believe we're going to do a U-turn, and we're going to go back to living in homes, whether it's on wheels, that actually provide the space we need and the comfort we need and enough, but let us live financially better lives.
Yeah.
And travel with that, because you think about it now, the age of going to an office is shrunk dramatically from COVID and is continuing to shrink.
Yeah.
So it means that so long as we got internet, no matter where we are, we've basically got ourselves a job. I mean, again, most jobs are now remote.
Yeah.
Most are hybrid, and very few are got to come to the office every day. So, everything is changing. And I think that for me is wonderful, depending on your type of person you are, of course. I like the idea of being able to just, put a house on wheels and live, freely. We don't live in a country yet that is accommodating for a nomad. We don't live in that yet, but I believe that the government will have to, at some given point in the future, look at how they accommodate, right now, if you're a nomad, you're considered a gypsy, and that's how it's been. But the age of the gypsy is now becoming, a professional person that lives in a house on wheels.
And I agree with that, and I think it's great. I think, living in a house on wheels has got to be more, regardless of the fuel. I mean, maybe they'll come up with, electric ones.
Absolutely, there will be.
But that the fuel consumption for everybody will just go down dramatically.
Well, here's the thing, and of course the footprint that's put onto the environment will come down dramatically. Yes, we think about the amount of fuel, but effectively, it means that there's less green gases, all these kinds of things that's produced. People will live simpler.
That's it.
They won't have, wardrobes of clothes because there'll not be the room for that. And they'll live simply, but they'll become better people for it because we can think more.
Well, it'll take away everything we've just said.
Yeah.
About the striving for this and the scared of that and it'll just take all that away.
Wow.
It? Isn't that amazing?
I think it is. I think it is amazing. And I love the idea of that. And I think in time that will happen. It's already starting is where we are. I'm going to the Caravan and Camping Motorhome show now. Actually, I bought 2 tickets on the hope you'll come with me. in Feb, and why I'm going there is because I just want to see what the future looks like. Yeah. I want to see what the future of people's ideas of living is going to look like, because it's not just owning a motorhome now is not just about going on holiday. It's actually about, well, this is my address. It's my permanent address, and I just want to go and see what the future of that looks like for people of this country, because if we go to the US, that's on a much bigger scale, and people are already live that way. I think it's beautiful myself.
Yeah, they've got a much bigger country to do it with.
Well, they have all the seasons right throughout the country, don't they?
Yes,
they go from scorching sun to snow, and you don't have to get on a plane. No, you can just drive that.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so unique about the States. But it's coming more and more and more, and I think that the idea of me running my business is to give me life, is to give me freedom. And, coming from that, of course, there's an invoice that I have to be able to invoice out. And that's the thing, listeners, is think about why it is you're working. Think about, pay the bills. But then, how can we break that? How do we break that? How do we fracture that routine? It's a big ask, because a lot of what we pay, we don't get a choice.
Right, exactly.
Or we don't get a choice because we are expected to live a particular way.
Yeah, exactly, through society. And that really benefits those above, but we won't go into that. But my feel here is, one of the most freeing things that I've learned, and I keep saying to my clients, is choose again.
Choose again.
So freeing, because if you choose something, because you're in that scared place of the same, and if you choose again and it doesn't work, so what? Choose again and keep choosing.
Does that then create inconsistency, though, do you think?
Why do you need consistency?
No, I suppose, yeah, absolutely. Why do we need consistency? Why can't you just keep growing from your choose again?
Yeah, and just be happy within it. Knowing that we're not here forever. I mean, one of the most funny things that I've learned about myself due to the NLP course I was on was that I'm bigger picture. And once I knew that actually that was my go-to, was the bigger picture of things, I've ran with it, because it makes sense to me. It makes sense to say, you're not going to be here forever. So why are you living in fear of this, that, and the other when actually you're going to end up in some type of box someday? So why bother? What's all the fear about? Choose again, and then choose again, and choose again, and have peace within those choices.
And that kind of elongates your life also.
Yeah.
Because you're choosing means you've got that fresh start, fresh energy, fresh you kind of thing.
Also, it gives so much experience.
Wow. Then why come in marriage we're not allowed to choose again then? Just a thought, do you know what I mean?
But actually you are allowed to choose again. You just know the consequences of that choice of choosing again.
But why can't that be a good thing? I just chose again. It's okay. Deb said chose again, so I chose again.
But that's it, see? And you can choose.
But can we re-choose then?
No! That's what I was going to say. Like, once you're done, you're moving on, boy.
That's not fair. You put in rules to choose again now. It was free. It was all free and simple your first time round. But now you're saying, no. You can't choose it and go back to choose again.
Well, that's the thing, you see. And we're laughing, but I'm glad you brought that up. Because choosing again and choosing again and choosing again is all very well. But we don't want to go around hurting everybody by our choosing agains either. We have to have people on board with our choosing again.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't resonate anymore, then you say bye-bye and you choose again.
Yeah
Right.
When you say not resonate anymore, you mean lots of people do get married for the wrong reasons. The people are together for the wrong reasons. That does happen. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. But sometimes just choosing again, there's also a tailwind with that, with children and things like that. So it's not just about choosing again.
No, it's not. And, I actually was thinking about just whole lives when I was saying that. I was talking about families that, where the parents are like, right, we're just going to choose again. We're going to move here. We're going to move there. I wasn't getting into the individuals. But, But also, I still believe that, if you choose again, then as long as you do it without hurting anybody as much as possible and being responsible for that tailwind, we don't want people living together that aren't happy because that's not good for kids. I always say, people say, oh, it's happy kids, happy parents. It's not. It's happy parents first, and then the kids are free to be happy. So if you've got your parents above you not happy, you're going to feel it. You're going to know it. And, sometimes two homes are better than one.
It's hard to know when parents are unhappy, though, because you're in the environment you assume is the right environment.
It's true.
That's really hard. I mean, I'm on there thinking, wow, how do you know the environment is not right? Because it's the environment you're used to.
Yeah, but it's on some level you're going to know it.
Only later in life, perhaps.
Exactly, on later in life. And then you have to work it all out with a therapist or something.
Well, they just come to your Fresh Freedom program then. Right. So it's Deborah Rees, of course, LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, Facebook. You'll find Deborah Rees and Fresh Freedom program, and she will help you out there for sure.
Big plug.
Absolutely. But I'm seeing that, I'm loving when we talk about freedom of life and things, and even freedom of speech or freedom of message. People have, because of social media, we're able to say more, feel more, show more. So somewhat we are getting to experience the world on a very small scale now, through social media, which is kind of setting everybody else's standards of expectation of, well, I want to live like that. I'm going to live like that.
But people don't actually live like that. They're always showing their best face.
Well, I agree what you're saying there, but I also say there's another side of it where, you are seeing people that are freer in life and genuinely sharing those experiences, where it's giving people the influence to say, well, do you know what? I'm going to do that. And I'm coming back to the nomad thing, living in a van, a motorhome and things, is that it's coming up. It's on social media. It's even on newsreels and things now where they're showing people, moving out of bricks and mortar into vans and running their businesses from a van. Like, I can run my business from the van if I wish. I'm seeing that. And I'm seeing that there has its benefits, the social media platforms and being able to say what you want to say. Yeah, absolutely. And guess what? Say what you want to say is what we're going to do right now. We're going to run into our last commercial before we come back in and dive into the importance of being your own person today.
UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good. Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good.
Hello and welcome back in, listeners. Of course, you have just joined. If you have just joined, Paul and Deb and lifestyle business and lifestyle freedom and lifestyle talk and lifestyle, everything that's lifestyle is what we talk about on this show. Okay, UK Health Radio. Don't forget to tune into all the other tons and tons of presenters and shows we have going on here on a week-to-week basis. But it's great to have you listening here and to have your heart and soul on the show for sure. So, Deb, I tell you what, now everybody's going on about, we are now second week or the third week almost of Jan, and we come in here, we talk about our favourite kind of Christmas presents and stuff. What was your favourite Christmas present this year, Deb?
My favourite Christmas present was having family round for Christmas dinner.
That was your favourite? Oh my God, was it?
Well, yeah, but also...
Deb, my sister's boyfriend was drunk coming in.
Yeah, that's true.
And who does that? I mean, who comes to visit somebody's house for Christmas dinner
for the first time,
and they're already intoxicated walking through the door? I said, mate, you've already drunk. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on, and took over the afternoon. That wouldn't have been my favourite Christmas present. Well,
sure. I liked seeing your mum and dad anyway, and your sister and my niece. Anyway, but apart from that, my favourite was my perfume.
Oh, perfume. What is it about perfume? Why can't we just smell the way we smell? I mean, that's our natural smell, isn't it?
Yes, it's our natural smell.
Why can't we just be that? I mean, do you think...
You don't do that because you shower every single day and you put stuff on your body, so you can't say that.
Okay, well, what if we... Or do you think that if we don't take a shower for long enough that we actually start smelling nice?
Well, actually, that's true for your hair. If you don't wash your hair, it will go into all those
braids
and things, but you can prevent that, and then it just reconditions itself, apparently. But you have to go through a really stinking time to get to that.
Do you?
Yeah. I think I do that sometimes. Like, I didn't get there.
You've got close to it, Deb, about 3 weeks in, and it's like just that transition, and then you start again. Do you know what I mean? I don't get there at all because I'm bald as it comes, thankfully, But I reckon if you left it long enough, I mean, I think the longest I've ever gone without a bath is about... about 5-6 days.
Is there?
Yeah.
So you're not living up to what you've just said about just smell as you do.
Well, that's my thought. Is like, do we challenge ourselves and do like a Feb bath-free month?
I don't think it has.
They have alcohol-free months, don't they?
Yeah.
So sober month, and we should have a bath-free month.
Well, that would certainly help the environment if everybody did that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there'll be a lot of smelly places. That's the only thing, Oh, well, I suppose you'd be allowed to have essential washes.
Yeah, essential washes.
So basically, what we do is you would have a little bucket. That would be your month's quota of water, and then you could have your essential washes in that bucket using the same water every day.
Oh God!
What are you saying? Are you saying there's something wrong with your orders and things?
No, just saying. Anyway, so
a Feb bath-free month.
Yes.
I mean, it must do like your hair. It must just switch round and suddenly go, my God, he smelled nice. He smelled like a newborn baby. I'm bath for a month, see?
Okay, it could be Dirty December.
Dirty December, I love it. So Dirty December, everybody at the end of December will smell like newborn babies.
Yeah, but you can imagine all the shops. Going around the shops, that would be terrible.
You're right, we could probably go back to smelling nice.
I don't know whether you could because, you think about it, you get dirty, then you get dirty again, then you get dirty again. I think with skin, it'll just layer on. Hair
but I mean, surely there are different, insects that would keep us clean.
Ew.
Well, they reckon that your bed and mattresses have got all these little mites in there that eat your skin every night.
Bed bugs, yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine?
That's just...
If you haven't, yeah.
Isn't that beyond thought?
Yeah.
That you're sleeping away and something is just gnawing at you every night. Oh, wait, mate. come and taste this bayat. He ain't barked for a week. Munch, munch, munch.
Oh.
That's just minging.
But can you imagine those who don't change their sheets for like 2 months?
Oh my word!
Can you imagine?
Oh God, you probably hear the crickets cracking along before you get into bed. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, I've seen these like under a microscope. They're scary as hell.
Oh, that's just minging. The thought of that, you know. I mean, you don't bath for a month. All these things, and if you sleep in the nude, do you know what I mean? There's crevices. They're all there on the mattress, cooing up, waiting for the best spots. That's just, but you know, apparently they're essential.
Apparently they are essential.
They're essential, you know. Yeah. It's just like, you know, you are. What was that? What we have cleaner shrimp, don't you, in the ocean?
Yeah.
And then things coo up, and they jump in and they clean the mouths of the fish and thing. We got like cleaner shrimps that are in our beds.
True.
They're just not called shrimps.
No.
They're called bugs. That's just minging. I mean, fair play, you know. But
you know, all this nomading, you know. How does that work with that?
Well, you would have an essential wash and leave the bugs take care of the rest.
Oh dear.
I saw a thing on YouTube once where this guy hadn't washed for years and years and years.
Did you?
Yeah, it was minging. And apparently they reckon that, you know, there was stuff under his skin keeping him healthy and things, you know. He survived, and but he looked like he'd come out of a cement mixer.
There you are. You see, that's what I thought. You wouldn't get to a newborn baby or anything like that. You'd just be bloody dirty.
Yeah, we wouldn't look like we would on the tin, that's for sure. To me, it's like, I love it. But, you know, it's been a great show. My favourite present, though, and getting back to it, is, of course, I got in front of me, my Camelback, not unplugging anything, my Camelback flask. Now, this is such an amazing bit of kit. Now, you put a hot or cold stuff in there, and I put it out to hike in, and it keeps warm for hours. Got my herbal tea in there.
Yes. So
my Camelback flask, what colour would you call that, Deb?
That is khaki.
Camel?
Khaki.
Camel.
Camel.
Beige?
No, it's khaki.
Is it khaki? Oh, I get where you are with khaki. It's a light khaki Camelback flask.
Yes,
and it's brilliant, listeners. Go and get one, man. It's got a little pop lid and everything. I love it. It's my new kit.
And mine is rose.
Yeah, rose, yes. I got you. The only pink, no, actually light pink. Perfect. Better than your perfume?
More practical than my perfume.
Brilliant, listeners. We're going to leave it on that note, because here's the thing. I'm actually, after this show, I'm off and I'm going hiking for a couple of days.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's my thought. I need to get a bit of fresh air. I need to reboot and all these wonderful things. Listeners, you have an amazing week. Thank you ever so much for your time, your listening here, and all those beautiful things. And we will see you this time next week. And bye for now, and boom!
Emotions are your friends.